Captain Bass, and my speech today is on why African Americans should receive reparations for what happened in slavery. So, the list that I'm about to read off are the current reparations that are active in the USA today. So, you have Native Americans, Hawaiians, people from Jewish descent, and Japanese. All of these names on this list have been through horrible events throughout history. For their trial and tribulations, they have received compensation from the government. Some of the settlements have been numbered in the billions, but one major event that is not on this list they learn about in school every year is slavery. Now, my main purpose for this speech is to persuade you into believe that the victims of slavery should receive reparations just like the victims on the list that I just named earlier, because there is no difference when it comes of the wrong. People associated with slavery deserve the same type of treatment that the other minorities and races that have been done wrong by the U.S. get. I'm going to discuss the reasons why slavery victims deserve reparations by 1, the length of slavery, 2, the death total, and 3, the cultural setback that was done during the time period of slavery. So first, I'm going to begin talking about the length of slavery. Slavery has lasted longer than all of those events that I listed earlier. Yes, longer than the Holocaust, longer than the Native American time period, the Trail of Tears, longer than the Japanese concentration camps, longer than all of those. And according to History.com, slavery started in the 16th century and lasted all the way up to the 13th Amendment, and thus making slavery the longest process that has took place in the United States to this day. The death total, according to hardtest.com, the death total of slavery is to be around 12.2 million, while the death total for Jews in the Holocaust is around 4 million. Now, this death total doesn't even include the numerous amount of people lynched, raped, tortured over the 400 years that Black people have received hate crimes, and just terrible things that have happened to them. So for 12.2 million to just be within slavery says something over just 400 years. During slavery and the slave trade, Africans from different tribes all over the East Coast and Africa were exposed to the taking of their culture. They were stripped of their name, took from their families, religion, as soon as they arrived from the States. So that means as soon as they were brought over to the States, their name, it didn't matter if they were a king from where they're from or a prince, it didn't matter. They were stripped from that, and they were talked to and being treated as just an item. Now, for my conclusion, I understand you shouldn't compare the death total and the effect it had on those people who were involved. But with that being said, you can't look at what was done to the African people and think they don't deserve at least the slightest of compensation versus what happened to the Jewish people, the Japanese people, the Native American people. This is the biggest mass murder in American history, and for them not to have anything, not even a check, not a cent to them, it's a slap in the face to those effects. I have discussed the reasons why slavery victims deserve reparations by the length of slavery, the death total, and the cultural setback. And like I said, I know you're not supposed to compare the wrongdoing of any race or the wrongdoing of any color, but in this situation, like this, it's needed because the fact that those groups have gotten reparations from the U.S. and some of them they haven't occurred on U.S. soil, but the Africans affected by it, and that were part of the biggest mass murder in American history over the longest time span, and they don't have any reparation to show for it, not even a cent to its name, that's wrong. And with this paper and with this speech, I hope this enlightens you on the situation at hand, and I hope it sheds light on who deserves reparations and who doesn't.